Have a little gold pendant I found with my Amphibio in 20 kilohertz frequency and some bark dust. 14 karat, it's like a little spinner Jesus. The Jesus spins, the crucifix spins on it. Really cool little pendant there. I found out at a jewelry school. I call it jewelry school.
That's hilarious.
Here's a nail, bent square nail, and tested against the Equinox and the Deus. Just turn that Equinox on right now. And I'll put it in Park 2 because Park 2 does really good in the iron. Well, fair in the iron. Of course, I'm getting some EMI. Nothing there, right? No evident targets, just a bunch of iron, right? Lots of nails here. I'll put this nail down here. My gain, I'll show you my settings here. So there's no trickery involved. My recovery speed's at 6, iron bias at 0, right? And my gain's at 25. I might have to back it down though because I'm getting a lot of EMI. Here's a nail right here, right? Nothing. Not even a false on it, right? A little bit of false. But I'll put this gold pendant right there. Right there, right next to it. Multi-frequency, right? Nothing. I can back away from it. Just go over that gold target. I'm hitting it, right? But over the iron, it's struggling, right? And I can change frequencies, go down to 4 kilohertz. Probably won't even hit it this way. No, won't hit it. I'll go to 20 kilohertz, Park 2. I'm not hitting it, right? It's not hitting that pendant. I can turn the iron on just to show you that the machine is still on, right? No tones on that gold. 40 kilohertz will probably hit it just a little bit, right here. A little bit right there. Multi-frequency, right here. It's hitting it right there, but I'm not above the iron, right? It's doing fair on that target there. But it's just not hitting it down the barrel, you know, swinging over it. And I can go to field, ain't gonna hit it. Field 2, ain't gonna hit it. Of course, you know, slower recovery speed. Go field. The iron's on. Turn the iron off. Go field 1. Not gonna hit it, right? It's hitting a little. There might be some iron over there. There might be some foil on the surface, but it's obviously not hitting it. I'll go to gold prospecting 2. Not gonna hit it, right? Not gonna hit it. Silent, right? I'll turn the iron on. It's still on because the iron is hitting the iron right there, right? It's not gonna hit it. And I'll just turn the Deus on. Pitch tones right here. Just one of the stock programs, right? Number 4 pitch program, right? And it's in 14 kilohertz. Usually opens up in 14 kilohertz, even with this high frequency coil on here. Pitch tones, nothing but iron, right? 14 kilohertz. I'll show you what the iron sounds like just alone. Right. We'll change frequencies too. And I'll actually drop the iron tone down a little bit to 1. Change my frequencies here. This is 14 kilohertz. Right. It's a lot more pleasant to the ear without that iron blasting in your ear. I don't know why they have the iron up that high. I don't know where you would use that iron that high of a setting. Here's 31 kilohertz on the iron. Here's 74 kilohertz on that iron. I'm getting a little bit of pulsing on it. But I'll take this gold pendant right here, this Jesus pendant, and set it right there. Same spot as the Equinox. Oops, I just moved that nail. It's not good. I'll go back down to frequency. Start at 14 kilohertz, right? Not going to hit it. It's not even hitting it right on the tip of the coil. 14 kilohertz is just not cutting it. That's just like Park 1 on the Equinox. Wasn't even hitting it. Wasn't even responding to it. Here's 31 kilohertz. Now I'm hitting it a little bit there. You can hear the iron coming in really strong. Now I'll go up to 74 kilohertz and the iron goes away. I'll take that Jesus pendant out. Put it back in there. And this is just a stock program. I can go over to Goldfield program and really tear it up here. Goldfield number 10 program. I'll have to make a couple adjustments here. I'll go to IAR. Come on. IAR is you're gonna hear all the iron, all the stuff in the ground. You can hear the iron. The iron's not being rejected. So I'll go all the way up to 5 and reject all that iron on the surface there. Nothing. Right? It's such a small piece of gold there. Right next to that iron. Even Goldfield program is not hitting it in 14 kilohertz frequency. Right? You want to use this coil the right way. Put it in the higher frequencies. 14 kilohertz. Gold program, right? With the iron rejected. Now I'll go up to 31 kilohertz. Nothing. Now I'll go up to 74 kilohertz frequency. I'll just be able to do a little bit. Oops, moved it. Right there. Just barely a difference. Barely made a difference. But the frequencies, man, and the coil selections too have a lot to do with what you want to get out of the ground. You know, I use this sniper coil on the Deus for really trashy spots, and I can get through the modern trash and pluck the pennies out and all the zinc pennies. But the Equinox struggles, man. The Equinox struggles in the iron because you get multi-tones, and you don't have a program on the Equinox to give you that proximity, like the pitch. You know, it's like a modulated tone. It's like a VCO. You know, it's giving you a depth indicator and it's giving you a size indicator. And with the Equinox, if I have my iron on, it's going to false on the iron even worse, you know, in Park 2. And I get a lot of jumpy tones. If I'm in multi frequencies, it gives me a lot of broken tones. It's just jumping all over the board there. If I raise it up to 40 kilohertz, it's a lot more stable of a tone, but I'm still getting that falsing on the iron, just like the Deus was doing. It was falsing a little bit more on that iron at the higher frequencies, but that the target stood out a lot more at the higher frequencies, the single frequencies. Even with the Equinox, it was hitting a little bit better in gold, in the 40 kilohertz frequency. In the multi-frequency, it's really good for all-round hunting, but when you're specialized hunting, like in the iron, that Deus elliptical coil is deadly, man, at plucking those low conductive targets and those higher conductive targets out of the iron. You know, that's a really hard target to get. And I'll show you something here with the Simplex. The Simplex is a 12 kilohertz machine, And the 12 kilohertz, a lower frequency machine like this, I'm in Park 2, my gain's all the way up, my iron volume's at 2, and I'll just go over it. You know, nothing but iron tones, right? I'll take that gold pendant out, and I'll show you. It sounds just the same. You know, the lower frequencies false on the iron, or you have a really loud iron tone. And if I want to drop my iron tone on the Simplex, it gets really poppy and shattery. It just clicks and pops a lot. I'll go over to Park 1. This ain't gonna do it, right? Just nothing but iron in there. The 12 kilohertz frequency is just too low to pick up that lower conductive target next to the iron, right? I'll even try. That was a 277 with the SP24, with the SP22 coil on it. I'll try the 278 with the SP24 coil on it and see if it'll hit it too. Park 1, iron volume at 2, gain all the way up. Or this is field mode. See? There's not really much I can do to the Simplex to make it perform any better than it is right now, right? Just loud iron, right? Here's Park 2. I can stick it in beach mode. Just get a lot of popping, clicking here. I can ground balance it here. Ground balance a little bit lower.
Sorry about that, Jared.
And actually beach mode is hitting it a little bit. Right there. Nope, it's just falsing on the iron. Beach mode was falsing on the iron. Right? You want to know what it sounds like? That gold pendant. That's beach. Here's Park 2. Here's Park 1. Field mode really sounds good. But still, it's hard to pinpoint that target because it's a lower conductive target. With those lower conductive targets, I've found out, you know, through my thousands of hours with the Simplex, foil and small pieces of gold are very difficult to pinpoint because it's such a lower frequency, right? You saw that with the Deus. It's clear on the Deus that the higher frequencies around iron perform a lot better because the iron tones get softened and the volume of the iron goes down, and those mid-conductive targets and those higher conductive targets just stand right out in the higher frequencies. The Simplex, you cannot do that. You don't have the option of changing frequencies with the Simplex. But the Simplex is really good. It's a deep-seeking machine, and you can get through a lot of harsh terrain like these other machines can't because they're so light, right? The Simplex is a little bit heavier, and it can get through the taller grass. And especially with the bigger coil on it. I prefer the bigger coil on the Simplex, to tell you the truth. I think it might even perform better on this target here, to tell you the truth. I'm not really a big fan of the SP22 coil because it falses on the edge of the coil really bad on nails. But the SP24 coil does really good. Whatever coil you have on, whatever's working for you, and just adjust your machines to what you want it to sound like. You know, the Simplex performs very well for an entry-level machine. Don't get me wrong here. That target is really hard for any entry-level machine. I don't think any entry-level machine will be able to hit that target right there. You know, it takes the high-end machines with the higher frequencies to hit on a target like that in the iron. That small little gold pendant. I hit on that with my Amphibio in 20 kilohertz frequency. I think I had my eyesight up pretty high there because I was in some bark dust. I remember how my settings kind of funky when I found that little pendant there. Well, there's the little display of how the frequency affects smaller gold targets in the iron. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.